So, Wednesday afternoon continues to be quite a week, quite a number of weeks for us. And I think we're all dealing with a lot these days, and it's just so important to acknowledge that there's a lot that we're dealing with. I know there are people who aren't working and are concerned about money and finances, other people who are working and are concerned about their health, and other people that I know are probably thanking, the gods that they have a job and they're not having to worry about their health. So whatever situation you're in, you're welcome here. In addition, there are people involved in the protests. There are people who are working with injustices to deal with the systemic racism in this country and other injustices that are here. There are people dealing with illness. There are people who've had family members die that they couldn't be with. There is just a lot. And so sometimes I know I ask myself, where is the peace? Is there peace anywhere to be had? Is there peace anywhere to be had with what's going on? So I wanted to do another guided meditation focusing on peace. And yes, and just to introduce myself, my name is Karen Jones. I have meditated on and off, okay, that's the truth, for many years, but um, more consistency here over the last 5 years or so. And I do different types of meditation, and I enjoy a lot of different types. But what I want to do is make this very accessible. And again, remember when we meditate together, the point is not to stop thinking. Your mind will continue to think. That's its purpose, is to think. So allow it to be what it is. And it's really just bringing our awareness back to ourselves. And a lot of times, bringing our awareness back to our bodies helps because we come into the present moment, we come into the now when we're in our bodies. So let us begin. Get my bowl. So when we're coming together to be with ourselves, begin with having the body be comfortable. So it's being in a comfortable chair or lying down, whatever is better for you. Making sure that there aren't any aches and pains that need to be dealt with. So again, I tend to notice my shoulders. I move them for a moment. Jaw, move that for a moment. Just to really allow your body to feel more relaxed as we come together to meditate for peace. Notice your back. I like to imagine there's a cord coming up from the top of my head and a cord coming from the sacrum, and then pulling gently, imagining each end is being pulled gently. Just straighten the back just a little bit more. Take a breath, breathing in and out, letting your chest move. Go ahead and put a hand in your belly. Let your belly move too. And then continuing to bring your awareness down to your hips and pelvis, to your legs, and out the bottom of your feet. And imagine as you're breathing, awareness in your hips and pelvis, allowing yourself to simply breathe, be in your body. Notice how your body feels. And if there's any emotions, because sometimes what happens is as soon as we sit quietly and focus in our bodies, there may be some emotions coming up. And if that happens to be going on for you, take a hand and put it where you're feeling that. I feel a little bit of something in the upper abdomen area. And just breathe into that area, having awareness there, asking yourself, what does it feel like? If there was a color, what does it look like? If there's a sound, what did it sound like? Awareness and breath. And often it begins to dissipate. And that's fine. Whatever it does is fine. Now as we're coming back to our breath, peace. What is peace? Not just the absence of violence. For me, it feels like a real centered feeling, an acceptance, an allowing, a calm and equanimity. It allows me, allows you to be where you are at this moment. It's for me also a reaching out and extending to you, to whoever's with me. And to get to peace, there's some things we need to acknowledge about ourselves. Where do I have violence in myself? And not only in deeds or actions, but in thoughts, in emotions. And if you're willing, bring to your awareness a situation where you behaved or had violent thoughts toward another person or toward yourself. Bring that to your awareness so you know what happened, what was going on, and that tendency to violence that is a completely normal and common human attribute. Observing it. Don't have to be in the situation, simply observe it. And now bringing, when you keep your awareness on that situation, part of your awareness in your hips and pelvis, now take your hand and put it over your heart and allow yourself to extend compassion toward you in that situation where you behaved or thought violently. You were doing the best you knew how to do in that moment. Feel yourself extending compassion towards yourself. And then consider, can I forgive myself for that action, that thought? In fact, will I allow myself to forgive myself? Because it's one thing to say I could, but it's another thing to say, will I actually do it? Will I release myself? Because, and why do we do this? Because remember, how I am with myself is a mirror of how I am with other people. So if I'm able to forgive myself for violent thoughts, actions, labeling someone, bullying, shaming, denigrating in any way, if I can do that for myself, then I'm modeling for myself how to do it for others around me, for people who I see who are acting that way, speaking that way toward others, or people behaving or speaking that way to me. Now remember, forgiving does not say what the person did or what I did was okay, but it did happen. It did happen. I still have to decide for myself, what do I need to do going forward? And for the other people, what do I do? Is there some action that needs to be taken or words that need to be said? Right now, we're focusing on ourselves, releasing the violence in ourselves by forgiving ourselves, and thereby having a model for how we are with other people. So, keeping awareness in your hips and pelvis, awareness of a situation where you behaved or acted or thought in a manner that was violent or hurtful to another person. And in your heart, could I forgive myself? Will I forgive myself? And go ahead and kind of shake that off a little bit. Let that situation go. Hand on your heart, extending compassion to that part of you that's just trying to do the best you can. And now, as you breathe in, say, I am. And as you breathe out, peace. I am. Say it silently in your head as you breathe in. Peace. Say it silently on the out breath. We'll just do that together here for a minute or so. I am on the in breath. Peace. Awareness in your hips and pelvis and in your heart, extending compassion to yourself. And now taking that compassion, that peace, deep breath, let that compassion, that peace fill you up. In fact, let's take a minute and imagine there's this light coming down. Light of God, light of Source, light of divinity, light of peace, light of compassion, pouring into us, filling us up with compassion, with light. Breathe it in, filling yourself up, your body, your chakras, your energy system, the area around you, with compassion, with light, with peace. And now, as you're full of peace, of love, of compassion, breathe in more. And now turn around, breathe it out to fill your room, keeping yourself full, breathing the extra, the abundance out. Fill your room, compassion, with light, with peace. And I'm keeping one hand in my heart because it just reminds me being in my heart as we do this. So again, imagining light, love, compassion, peace is flowing into us, filled up. Now we can turn around and breathe the extra peace and light and compassion into our rooms. And let's breathe it into beyond our rooms to the whole building we're in and all the beings that are there. And breathing in even more love and light and compassion to our hearts and ourselves. And breathing it out. Fill the town, the city you live in, blessing all beings. Love flowing into us from above our heads, from Source, from Divine, from the universe, as if we're under a waterfall, freely given, and we freely receive it. And as we're filled up, we can then share. Breathing that love, that light, that compassion in, that peace. And out of our abundance, breathing it out to fill the country we're in. Breathing it in, feeling the hemisphere we're in. Continue to fill ourselves up. That love, that light, that compassion, that peace flowing in from above us into our bodies, into our systems. And again, out of the abundance, breathe it out to fill the whole earth, blessing all beings. Blessing plants and animals, insects, birds, fish, peace to the rocks, the crystals, the dirt, the trees, the whole earth, all of Gaia, blessing it all. And now take a moment and be grateful. Feel that feeling experience of gratitude. Gratitude for peace, for love, for light. Gratitude, we're in our bodies, we're breathing. This is good. The world we live in, gratitude. Food we eat, gratitude. Family, friends, workplaces, gratitude. Extending gratitude to ourselves. We're here, and to each other. You're in my world, I'm in your world. And coming back to awareness in your hips and pelvis, the room you're in. And maybe there's just a little bit of peace in your heart, a little bit more than there was before. May it be so. Thank you for being with me, Karen Jones, and I lead meditations every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And whether you're watching live or in the replay, go ahead on the replay, hit hashtag replay, and let me know how this is for you, how it lands for you. May we all be at peace. May we all be